Okay, let's get straight to it. Hayom Kotzev Amalocha Merube. You hear? Hershel Hayom Kotzev Amalocha Merube. Okay. Now, someone asked me this week, it's funny because last week we talked about a cat, and he said he bought a cat recently, and he noticed they advertise in the thing that that they process it with real milk. And no, the food.
Oh, so it's challah b'akim?
No, and so there's beef, there's chicken, and there's milk. There's basa b'challah, and since basa b'challah is a unique yisur, that it's also b'achila, it's also b'vishul, and it's also b'anoah. So besides being a yisur achila, it's a yisur anoah. So a person funny because a person called me and asked, Rabbi, I have a funny question. I hope you won't laugh. The truth is, there's nothing to laugh. It's a very good question. There's nothing to laugh. If you take basar and you cook it with cholov, it's also ba'anoah. You're not allowed to have anoah from it. So the question is, are you allowed to feed it to your cat? If you're feeding it to your cat, you're having anoah. You have to feed your cat. So that's the shaila with the cat food. So what seems to be a very simple shaila is be'emes a tremendously complex kasha, because the Mishnah says that the isra basa b'cholav is only behema tahoira b'chalev tahoira, but it was behema tmeya b'chalav tahoira or the other way around. So it's muter b'bishol buter ba'anoah. What does it mean behema tmeya b'chalav tahoira? What does it mean behema tmeya b'chalav tahoira? Behema tmeya b'chalav tahoira means pig, with pig, the flesh of a pig, or a horse, or a camel, or a donkey, which is a tmeya dika animal.
Oh.
When you say a pig is tmeya. Cow that wasn't shechted is a nevela.
Mm-hmm.
If the lungs were punctured, it could be a trefa. So the question was, so the Mishnah says that that's muter b'achila muter b'anoah. Okay. Muter b'achila muter b'anoah.
What's
you're allowed to eat it and you're allowed to have anoah from it.
From which one?
From if the meat was a pig. If you take a pig, if you take the meat of a pig and you cook it with milk, or you take the meat of a camel, that's besar behema tmeya. It's a behema tmeya. However, there is opinion in the Shulchan Aruch that there is opinion in the back that it's also the Rabbanon. You're not the Rabbanon, you're allowed to have a noah. Okay. The Shulchan Aruch itself, as we'll see in a minute, holds l'kula. The Shulchan Aruch itself holds that you're allowed to have a noah. So if you took pig meat, you cooked it with milk, you said, save this cat food was made not out of beef. It was made from pork. It was made from pork and chicken. Because so then it would be that it's machloikis and the poil the shach says l'kula, and you'll be able. You could say, look, the bottom line is shachnora patins l'kula, and the shach we always follow the shach, and the shach is mekel, so you're allowed to use this cat food. Here.
There's not only that, so the issue. I had this problem once. There's also the issue of insur kollel isur.
Oh, we're going to get there in a second, but we didn't get there yet because it wasn't relevant, because it was still talking about pork meat. But the problem is they're not making it out of pork, they're making it out of beef. So what's the difference if they're making it from pork and beef?
That's true.
Well, beef is a behema tahoira. It's not a behema tmeya. It's a behema tahoira. It's a behema tahoira. It wasn't shechted. I bet you that in the processing plant where they make the cat food, they're not buying nirbata, they're not buying Weissmandel meat, they're not buying Rubashkin meat, so it's nevela, and so now the shaila gets a little more serious. And this brings us to there's a Noid of Yehuda in the beginning of Shulchan Aruch, in the Simon Pei Zion, in the beginning of Hilchos Basar B'Cholim, he says that Rambam has a Nekuda Nifloa. It's an unbelievable lashon. In the whole Rambam, I don't know if it ever exists. The Rambam says, I have a chidush, and it's a Nekuda Nifloa. It's a pelodic thought. It's a pelodic thought. So what's the Nekuda Nifloa of the Rambam? And now this is the point you're talking about. The Rambam says, the Rambam is in Krisis. The Mishnah says, Yesh oichel akila achas v'chayev komish chatoes v'osham achas. That the guy is brilliant. He could eat one kazayis and he gets 5 times malchus. You got to be such a Talmud Chacham to do that. Man, oh man. Man, oh man, a Shevat. You got to be such a Talmud Chacham to pull that off. You got to be brilliant to pull that off. Because usually we say, in Yisr Kala Yisr, something is already also, it can become a double also. And unless there's a Yisr Kollel, Yisr Moisef, Yisr Basachas. So it's complicated. This guy, the Mishnah, was talking about a guy who absolutely brilliant. He's an Einstein. He figured out how to eat one kazayis and to chap 5 times malchus. That's something that's unusual. Anyway, there in that Rambam, the Rambam talks about an Nekuda Nifloa. He says, I have a wonderful thought. The Rambam says, for example, the Mishnah there says that if a person, who's this brilliant guy who managed to get 5 times malchus, he took chaylev from Noisor and he ate it b'yom HaKippurim. Wow. Chaylev is also to eat. So how could and the chaylev is also to eat anyway from a behemoth. And so how could and it be? So the Rambam says that chaylev is also to eat, but it's mutar ba'anoah. Now that a person made it hektish, now it's also to have anoah because it belongs to hektish. This cow belongs to hektish. So because netoisav ba isar anoah, netoisav ba gamki isar achila, that it's also to eat mitzad hektish. Not only it's also to eat it because of chaylev, netoisav ba isar anoah. So now it's not only also ba'achila because of chaylev, it's also ba'achila because it's kachim. The Rambam says, I have an Nekuda Nifloa of Chidush, and you should know it because that's going to be a very important point. The Rambam says, someone's going to say, if you cook cholav and chaylev, it's when the Rambam writes it, or when the RIshon talks about it, it's very funny because it's cholav b'cholav. There's no nekudas. You don't know what are you reading? Cholav b'cholav. What's cholav b'cholav? They made chocolate milk. Cholav b'chaylev. If you cooked cholav b'chaylev, so the Rambam says, chaylev is you're not allowed to eat. Chaylev is the part of the cow you're not allowed to eat. So now you're going to say you cooked it with milk. So is there a new isur also mitzad basa b'cholav? If this guy's going to eat it, he's going to get double malchus. So yes, you'd say that this chaylev was also b'chila, was mutar b'manoah. Now that you cooked it with milk, meter sheneser behanoah, no also gamken b'chila, and the guy should get double malchus. The Ram says, no, you're wrong. Why? Because when it comes to basa b'cholav, the isur achila includes isur anoah. Isur achila and isur anoah is hainu hach. The Torah said isur achila. And usually when the Torah says it's also to eat something, it's also to have anoah. Alamai, the Torah is megala that if you're allowed to have anoah besides by botza b'cholav. By botza b'cholav, when the Torah says you're not allowed to eat it, lo yochel, it means eser echad isser achila ve'echad isser anoah. You're not allowed to eat it or have anoah from it. So if now we say it's already asur, and you can't add another isser achila, so you can't add another isser anoah. That's what the Rambam says at nekuda nifloa. By hektish, you're not allowed to eat chaylev, but you're allowed to have anoah from it. Now that it became hektish, you're not allowed to have anoah from it. So you're also not allowed to eat it as hektish. But by cholav b'chaylev, you're not allowed to eat it anyway as chaylev. So now you're going to cook it and you're going to tell me there's a isser basa b'cholav? No, it doesn't exist. That is the brilliant point of the Rambam.
You can't add.
Yeah, you can't add. So therefore, how does that touch our story over here? This is exactly the story over here. So according to the Rambam in the Nekuda Nifloa, if you take beef that is nevela or treifa and you cook it with milk, you can't add because it's already also. You can't add anything here. It's also bachila and it stays also bachila, but you can't add isar anoa over here. Because over here, Isser Anoa by Basa B'Cholov is a derivative of Isser Achila. And therefore, because you can't add a new Isser Achila, you can't add a new Isser Anoa. So bottom line is, according to the Rambam, you're allowed to have, there's a lot, today a lot of the food for animals is Basa B'Cholov. Basa B'Cholov. Why? Because they want that your cat should get good nutrition, and people want to treat their cats really well. There was a Yid I met. It was about a year ago in Houston. The guy is straight from the richest men in Houston. But he came from Russia. He was destitute. He came in the 70s. He said he remembered the first time he came from Russia, and he was in the supermarket, and food he didn't have. He had limited funds, so he went.
Food?
Huh?
He bought pet food?
Yeah. He said it was delicious. He bought dog food, cat food. It was much cheaper than human food. It was delicious. So,
I think it's
huh?
Maybe it is good. Maybe that's the way you had.
No, but it's traditional. No, it didn't have OU. Okay, he's from Yid now.
Uh-huh.
He was a Yid. He came from Lvov. He didn't know better. They knew they eat matzah on Pesach. They knew some things, but he didn't know about kashrus. Funny. So like sometimes someone tells you something. It's why did I hear such a funny story about? So why would it be relevant even for me to know that this I couldn't stop laughing thinking about this guy opening up cans of cat food and putting in his fork and spoon and eating it. But it's relevant because
a lot of old people do that.
Right? Huh?
Today, a lot of poor people do that.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
Older people.
so you know what? Oy bazoi, you can't say it's not roi lachila. You can't say it's not roi lachila. It's very much roi lachila. Humans are eating it.
Mm-hmm.
So very much roi lachila. Humans are eating it. So the question is it basa b'cholov? Obviously, the question I'm not planning to eat it. The question is, can I give it to my cat? And the question is it also ba'anoah? According to the Rambam, because it's already also b'achila, you can't add Isra Anoah over here. Why? Because by basa b'cholov, the Isra Anoah is part of Isra Achila. And if you can't add Isra Achila, you can't add Isra Anoah. However, the Dogel Mervava brings in a Shulchan Aruch, but the Pri Megadim disagrees with him. He says the Tosfos doesn't hold that way. And the Tosfos holds that Lagabi Isra Anoah, there's no such thing as Ein Isra Cholar Isra. There couldn't be Isra Cholar Isra. And besides, the Pri Megadim has another thing. He says, what does it mean Ein Isra Cholar Isra? It means that you don't get double malchus. But it doesn't mean that it's not a bigger isur. It means you're not going to get malchus for that hanoah. But it doesn't mean it's not also. When the whole rule of ein isur kol al isur, he says my nafkamina, and nafkamina is for the cemetery for the Chevra Kadisha. A guy wants to be buried in a certain chelka. The Chevra Kadisha say, but these people are tzaddikim. And this guy is a Rosha. So I know it's not a very savory job to start opening up the books and start counting. So the children of this guy said, no, he was also a good tzaddik. He was also a tzaddik. But he was feeding his cat over there, that thing. And they told him not to feed the cat. So then they'll say, but this ancient Isukal Alisa. The Chevra Kedusha will say, yeah, you don't give him malchus. But we can't bury him in this section. So the bottom line is, again, let's summarize. It's a nekuda niflo. It comes down to nekuda niflo of the Rambam. The Rambam says that by kochim chaylev is also bachila. Now that it became kodesh, you mark the shit. So metoch it became also bano. It became also achila mitzad hektish. But by basa b'cholov, you don't say that. The chaylev is also bachila. Now you cook the b'cholov, you don't say because netoisav bo a new Isser Anoah and the Toisa Isser Achila and Basa B'Cholav. It doesn't add up. It's also B'Achila and it's also B'Achila and it says it's B'Achila and it's Mutar B'Anoah. So you're allowed to feed it to your cat. But according to the Pri Megadim, who says that Toisa says that no such thing as Ein Chizis Echad Lisa B'Isser Anoah, only B'Isser Achila. So there is an Isser Anoah here. So you're not allowed to feed it to your cat. So obviously the poskim are not going to talk about cat food, but the poskim are talking about candles. If you look in the because in those days most candles were made from the caliph, tallow, lard. That's what they made.
Soaps too.
Huh?
They also made soaps, no soaps.
Soaps. They also made soaps from it. Yes, they also made soaps. They also made candles from it. Now, there was a time, apparently, in Europe, times, Kufis, where chalev became expensive. Why? Because they multiple use. You make candles out of it, you can make soap out of it. So it became, and milk was getting cheaper. So some of the candle makers, the Goyish candle makers, did a kunz. They mixed some milk into the mixture of making the candles. So now it ended up a serious truva, the Shabbos Truvas. It ended up a serious truva. These candles, because there's two problems over here. First problem was I'm having a noah from basa b'cholov. And the second shaila is while I'm lighting it, am I being mevashel basa b'cholov? The point you see in a second, if we read it inside, the Piskei Teshuvos is machmir. The Chassam Sofer says you should be machmir, and the Chassam Sofer says those that want to follow the Noida B'Yehuda emas chichen oisei, because the Noida B'Yehuda was very big, and he brings that eye from a befedish Rambam, even though Rambam says it in the Mishnah, it's not in the halachas. That's not Shingrei Kasha, because the Rambam we know didn't write chidushim, his own chidushim in the halachas. He writes it befedish in the Fidish Mishnah. So even though over here it's a suffix deraisa, it's not a joke over here. We're not talking about Isa. To say that the Bach says that any basa b'cholov is also midrabanan ba'anoah. The Shulchan Aruch is mekel. First of all, the Shulchan Aruch is mekel. Second of all, it's a Isa derabanan. Here we're talking about a Isa deraisa. So therefore, it's a big thing to say emas chichin oisei. But also over there, you have to realize a little more serious by the candles, because when you light the candle, you're a little bit cooking the basa b'cholov. Over here, you're not cooking anything. You're just giving it to your cat. So it's only a shaila of having enough from basa b'cholov. Bottom line, before I get to the bottom line, let's read a little bit over here quickly. The Shulchan Aruch says, through Gimel. Kosher b'Torah, it says in the Torah, it says it 3 times. Echad lisar achila, v'echad lisar anoah, v'echad lisar achila, v'echad lisar anoah. V'oitz achila v'loshem bishul, koleme, she'ena also min ha-Torah, elech derech bishul. It's not also min ha-Torah if you only if you cooked it. Aval mederabonon, also b'chol derabonon, and you're not allowed to eat basa b'cholav even if it wasn't mixed together through bishul. Kol basa b'cholav she'ena also min ha-Torah, muter ba'anoah. But even if it's also to eat it mederabonon, but this thing is muter ba'anoah. Gedi lav dafka within shor sev eiz loishna b'chelav aim loishna b'chelav acherev elo shdiber akosa b'hoide ein noyeg elo b'bosa b'emet tahoide b'chalav b'emet tahoide, which is gedi b'chalev imoy tahoide and tahoide aval b'sar b'tahoide b'chalav tameya b'sar tameya b'chalav tahoide mutarim b'vishlo mutarim b'anoah. It's muter b'vishlo b'anoah b'sar chayav b'oif afilu b'chalav tahoide muter b'vishlo b'anoah rav b'chila ino salam derabonon. Okay, this is the shit of the Shulchan Aruch, which is mekel. There's the shach that says tur and kentas mchabes el gimel the basar oif b'cholav she'ein also b'achila ala maderabonon muter ba'anoah af maderabonon even maderabonon, and any basar b'cholav which is not isa b'achila is only maderabonon is muter ba'anoah maderabonon. So in other words, in this mixture there's also chicken, by the way. So according to the Shulchan Aruch and the shach paskin this way. So the chicken is not a problem because it's also bachila only. Right, exactly. Because it's only also bachila maderabonon, therefore it's muter ba'anoah. It's muter ba'anoah. The Bach says it's also ba'anoah, but one of the tainas that the shach has to him, it's a little in a different issue, but it's the same like this. Why would the rabbanon make such a? Why would they go out of the way to make such a gzeira? What would they gain out of it? What would why would the Chachamim make such a gzeira? Because you're scared that a Jew, a chas v'shalom, if you will end up eating basa b'cholav. So Chachamim made a rule: anything that comes from the butcher shop, You're not allowed to. But why would they have to go out of their way to make it also asabano? What would they gain out of it? So the old Zataka, they didn't do such a thing. Let's learn the Pirush Mishnayos. I'm skipping over the rest over here. Let's read the whole thing till the end. V'chein das Rebbe Sefer HaChinuch, v'chein das Rambam, Perek Tes Macholas Asuretz, lahedi v'chein birbar Pirush Mishnayos, v'chein Pirush Rebbe Magidait, v'chein v'hivul Marshal, v'shar HaCholenim das Rambam, v'loi k'mosh kosav ha'bach, das Rambam, the Bosar, oiv b'cholov osar ba'ano m'derabonu, k'mosh osar b'chilov m'derabonu. Not true. Skip the brackets, v'chein kosav ha'mordche, Perek Emaminu, v'gos ha'shiri, Perek Basra, by the Zora, dal yidei kovish, the melucha muter ba'ano. That if it was processed it was through kvisha. It's mutter ba'ano. Why is it important, this nakuda? This is the shach arguing in the back.
Oh.
This is an important point because obviously I want to take this aside because in my final analysis, one of the things that I still don't know, final analysis is not final because I asked the person to try to contact the company. This is the big question over here. In order to be makel, I would say like this. My question to the company is, how do they process it? The problem is you have to ask it in a way that they don't know what kind of answer will satisfy you, because then the answer is not worth anything. The question is, do they cook the mixture together? Is there a big pot and they put in the beef, the chicken, the eggs, the spices, the milk, and then they cook it? They have these huge vats, humongous or jabungus vats. Is that the case? Or is the case that the milk doesn't have to be cooked? It has to be pasteurized. LMI, usually when they get the milk, it's already pasteurized. So what do they need to pasteurize it a second time? Presumably, the milk has been pasteurized. So they cook the meat and they mix everything, and then they add the milk. So if that's the case, so then it's kavush. It's sitting here together. It's kavush. It's been sitting here for a year and a half. So it's kavush, and kavush kemavushal. But still, we paskin that since it wasn't cooked, it's muter bano. And even though the Bach is screaming that it's also bano mederabonon, but Shulchan Aruch holds it's muter. Huh? No, it's cooked. It's cooked. I was saying before, it was funny as Yochid brought this. It's cooked. No. Open. Yeah, eat it. So the problem is that l'chayr is kavush k'mavushal, but that I'm no problem. It's mekel. The shach is mekel. He says that if you're processing it through kvisha, not through real bishul, you're allowed to have a nut. So I have no problem with that. To be makel and to say, try to go out of your way to get other food. Okay, but my cat got used to this food. It's beseder. Shulchan Aruch is makel. It's fine.
The milk is not butter b'shisha?
That would have to have a tremendous amount of other ingredients. That could also be a possibility. You would have to have very complicated to say bittul. The beef is a prominent beef, and the chicken is a prominent part. It should be bottle. It'd be very hard for this to be bottle. It's not. They want the milk. They want the meat. It's not If it was a tiny side ingredient, that maybe I can't see that being the case.
Aren't there kosher cat foods?
I don't think so.
No.
I don't think so.
No.
I don't think so. Huh?
Yes. Well, I have to.
Yeah.
It has to be kosher.
So that's
My family had one cat
a tuna fish. Okay, so tuna fish Gavaldik and has a OU.
I heard the problem was in Pesach.
And we need the cat food.
A lot of cats are finicky.
I
They don't
used to have
want
a cat on
cat
Pesach.
food.
We would give it this food name to it.
Okay.
There's just earlier.
From the Rabbanut. That's very good. That's very good. That's very good. So,
The cat, the Rabbanut is okay. But the cat, the Rabbanut is okay.
yeah, exactly.
So by cats.
Exactly. So that's the nakuda. So that's the nakuda.
Did you
Let's.
find contemporary shuvos about cat food or dog food?
I didn't look. But I'm sure they'll be talking about it. Look,
Will it make a difference if you're asking us a party about this Rambam? That's a big kollel.
No, because It's not a Rambam that brought in the Yad Chazaka that would say that. I don't think in this that there would be. If it was a Yad Chazaka, we'd say, oh, there's a Rambam Tosfos Sfardi Ashkenazi. I don't think so.
All right.
And it's,
Faradim are allowed to have chaylev. They're special mashgiach.
oh, but we're talking
Check
about the
on the
real
chaylev.
Chaylev. We're not talking about the fake Chaylev, the Shuman.
The thing on the other that they cook it in the can. They make it raw and
The people cook it.
no, they heat it.
Oh, they manufactured. Oy, 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 oy. Oy, 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 oy.
See what you
Huh?
did?
Oh, yeah, the whole crew. Okay, so you're ready. This is Nafal Pita Bebeda. Nafal Pita Bebeda. Okay, so now the answer is going to be like this.
Heat process. The sealed cans are placed in the retort where they undergo high pressure steam heating, usually about 210 to 100 Celsius for 36 minutes. For the bacon.
210. Come on, this is. If you say that you need Vishnitz to be come on, this is Shvach. To be made to say that it was Kosher, it was not really Bishul, because it's 210, not 220.
They don't cook it with that. They probably cook it on this can. There's like a tuna fish.
Right. Okay, so we just lost a very big cool over here. The only thing,
It's ChatGPT, please.
The only thing that, what I told the person is, if it's really cooked and it is cooked, I would say finish whatever you have because you already bought it.
But then he's in the bear every time he's doing it?
No, because you can rely on the Noid Yehuda, rely on the Rambam.
Yeah.
But going forward to buy other cat food, from a Yid, you're playing around. There's a question of Isa de Raisa. We're not asking about a question of Isa de Rabbanon. It's asking about Isa de Raisa. So
Would it make a difference if it's a chicken cat?
yeah. Chicken would be good. I would say chicken is not a problem. The problem is the
Just
beef
hope the
part.
cat is masking to that.
Read it about it, the Piskei Tshuva. I'm bedogel meravav, because of the bas nevel vachein chaylev asal vashav cholam and atoyre v'lekel b'shulei ava b'achila im b'yisur b'bas b'cholam v'kolzim mavur b'rambam amna mimu asal b'noah ein mavur sham aval b'pirish mishnayis peri gimel de Kristus mavur shein asal b'noah av shlu divrei atoyses b'chulin kufal v'dir matzes l'kosher the Yisra noah like mikri Yisra moisiv ein hechir chol divrei Rambam. According to Tosfos says that by now there could be, there's no problem of ein Yisra chol alisa. So the whole chiddush of the Rambam l'chayre falls apart. Mekom makom loy matzin la Tosfos shebheir sheyafchol kul ladina shel Rambam shehefer she'ein asa b'achila m'shabasa b'chol v'ein asa b'anoah v'chein asoymach al zeh v'mokom hefsid lo yafsid. Even the Noid Yehuda didn't say l'chatchila to go do it. V'mokom hefsid lo yafsid. V'ayim b'prima godem b'psicha shekosel d'naktin and the osir b'anoah men ha'toyre. Nein, mit Shuvitz Chassam Soif, Shenishel Agam Ken Al Inyan Zavevi Divrei Agoam Yiltz Doctor B'Sefer Kam Fayoin Reish Simon Pezai moved the Shum Dem Irvu Chema B'Chelev Lasses Mem Neidis Ki Hoya B'Chelev B'Yoy Kuru Pashet Lei Los Rebanoah Agam Ki Metam Tarbi Shloimar so L'Choyre why should we also Rebanoah Yeshlemig the Neide Shachele Venason Mechele Vakloyes Vakerev Lavad Marv Mehem Kamim Nechelovim Vekrumim Shein Beim Kores. First of all, he said a different problem. He said Chelev is not pure Chelev. They have some other things in it, which is Shuman really. Im Ken Shapir Ike V'Basa V'Cholov Shem Torah V'Zan Nechelovim Halkaponim Shom Neveli Ke Rebbe Hem Shalev Dichol Mem Shchatu Fil Oche Asa Agam Banoah Fochil B'Svir Loi Da'af Gav D'Isra Achilu Leka Mekom Akem Isra Noah Ike the herich bezo masik the bad moide boka gon dogel meravav the noide Yehuda maschich nois avli kamei the diosi ani oisek gon kam fayom chem mashu bahar begidol achren afilo la dogel meravav loy meide banos had leke avolner kruzel had leke biyadayim yeshlochish lemavashel b'basa b'cholov shatipa sheshav v'ashaleves mizbashel zvav din Shabbos lechosher bishul kagavna af achlim b'basa b'cholov efshadav bishul. Okay. So the bottom line is in our case, but for the cat food, I would say now that it's clear that it's been cooked, so there is to throw out the thing is a hefsid. So you can rely on Dagel Mervava, bring the Nakuda Nifla from the Rambam and feed the cat, and that's what really I said. I said they should finish off whatever he already bought for the cat food. Going forward, unless you figure out that it's not been cooked together, if it's really been cooked together. So it's kedai to be machmer. Go buy the cat some other food. What's comment on?
Rabbi, so many Jews have a cat. No.
Right.
Why somebody doesn't get up and make, for example, are you okay?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, but
I think if they would do that, people would laugh. And they wouldn't realize the person that called me with the shaila
They
himself.
would eat it themselves.
No, yeah, that wouldn't be a problem.
When somebody has a question.
So, but
You know, the dog was rolling
They
on.
would have a short, oh, there was embarrassed that they had a cat.
huh? No. He thought it was a joke question. It's not a joke question. I want to ask another quick here. I have 2 minutes over here. Someone asked me on Shmishas Shevat a funny item that he bought. Um, he bought from a cactus tree. He wanted for a unique fruit. Oh, I don't have the picture of it because
It's aloe. Basically.
oh, aloe, sort of. Yeah. Basically the branches of the cactus tree, they cut them off. They look like ears, like prickly ears. They do. I mean, you can't buy them in regular stores, but some people.
I guess you can order them online.
Yeah,
With aloe, like for
aloe they sell, but not this. This is not aloe. It looks like aloe. It's not aloe.
yeah, and so you put on like
People that buy aloe, it's
No,
machaya. You put it instead of buying the cream, it's artificial. You just put it up. You have a burn. Huh?
never eat.
There are people. For a while, we used to have aloe plants in the hand. No, not to drink. The kinderlach got a burn or this or that. Then you get machaya. It's very good. But this is it's a different item. But bottom line is, the question was, he's eating it. He's eating it on his table for. He's making a seder for Tu B'Shvat, and he wants to know if he can eat it. L'kavet Chamishas B'Shvat, and what broch he made. Bottom line, the time is short. He's eating this, yeah. So he's eating bemis. It's koitz v'darda. He's eating kosher koitz v'darda. The answer is very.
Is it a sabra?
The fruit is a sabra.
Oh,
The
but
same plant has like these funny ears, prickly ears. You got to be careful not to touch it. And people eat it. They peel it and they eat the inside. I guess it's not that delicious. I never tasted it.
It's definitely not chocolate.
It's not tasting like chocolate. It tastes like cucumbers.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
That thing tastes like you. I can imagine it tasting like a cucumber, but it's not. His question was what the beracha. Bottom line is the answer is very simple. We learned about it a lot. The slav tree has different things that grow. The choshev part of the tree is called the fruits are beracha, and the things that grow that are not choshev but people use is beracha adama. So therefore, the beracha will be beracha adama. Now, yeah, the Alter Rebbe brings it that way in Perek Vav Halacha Daled. Even though Lagabi peels of an orange, it's already has the din of an orange, so the peels still have the din of Boide Pri. And even there, the Alter Rebbe says that when you eat the peels of an orange, like sugared peels, whatever, of an orange, you should make really adama. But there's another shaila that there is a food that is not choshev, that people don't usually buy in the stores, get downgraded to shahakal. However, the Alter Rebbe brings la halacha from the RIshon, that the RIshon made anything that grew on a tree, anything that grew from the ground, and dafke he would send his talmidim to bring him because the pasuk says koitz v'darda tatzmiach loch. We learned it 3-4 years ago. The koitz v'darda tatzmiach loch. He would ask his students to bring him koitz v'darda to eat. So that when we learned it, we didn't fully understand. Actually, eat koitz and v'darda. It doesn't make sense that the RIshon Chas Shalom hurt himself, but it just doesn't. But now when I saw this guy send me a picture, it's mamish, it's koitz v'darda. Lama, you peel off the peel and you eat the inside. It's not so gishmak. So maybe technically al pidina the Shulchan Aruch would be downgraded to a shahakal. But the RIshon says that if al pidin has the din of a eitz or adama, I would make a eitz adama, and it's brought l'poil al terebe. So therefore, I said that the din should be boide pri adama. Boide pri adama. One more nekuda, which is that the Rebbe once said, just a beautiful nakuda. The Rebbe once said that people complaining that there is a generational gap between parents and children. There's different generations, and therefore sometimes there is a disconnect between parents and children.
Not sometimes.
The Rebbe said that eitz is very simple. That especially Shabbos Kodesh, that the family should make it in a way that they enjoy a Shabbos meal together. All the 3 sudas and malava malka included. That it'd be nice every supper, but when the family eats together with the father and the mother, So then, even if they daven in a different minyan and a different thing, and but the fact that they're eating together the sudas in a way that's gishmak and pleasant and happy, so that makes that there shouldn't be a divide between generations.
Then you have Shalom Bayis.
Chaim l'chaim, should have a wonderful, wonderful week. Hatzlocha, hatzlocha. They didn't go to details. Said so the Shabbos should be together. And I'm saying it. The Rebbe was talking about Chassidim a lot after they're having a big Shalosh Shudas. They're eating something to be Yotzei.
And his wife knew that the Rebbe had unusual.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam be'erein ha'pashas d'Ram tzachas ha'mal ma'aseh b'rasam ha'tiyos b'hem. Baruch Eloheinu. We're talking about children. We're talking about children. You have children.
If you're married to a Rebbe, it's a whole thing you watch. But even so, you still should have Shalom Bayis.
Very good.
Yeah, no, it's clear that the Rebbe and Rebbetzin were a strong battle together. It's without her, do what he did worldwide.
You would have become Rebbe.
It's
bagel is to make motzi to make.
okay.
I don't watch. Still,